I thought I would talk to you today about what happens in the middle of the painting when you have to sort out a compositional problem. In my way of painting, I build up many layers and I get a really nice surface and I discover things, and then I have to, at some stage of the painting in the process, I have to decide what the composition is going to be about. And I have to make some decisions. I have to get a bit analytical about it. I have to lose all the intuitive stuff, which is all the fun stuff, and I have to turn on my thinking and analytical brain. What I've been doing since technology came our way is using my phone, and I take a photo with the black and white filter on and look at the value contrasts and look at the design of the painting. And then I make some decisions around that and sort of launch back into it again. But recently I found one of my favourite books, and this is the Sketchbooks of Picasso. It is a real, a great book for seeing his thought process and the sort of drawings he would do prior to a painting, and even maybe during a painting. And it's made me realise, this is the way I used to teach before technology took over. When students would be nutting out problems with their compositions, I would get them to do sort of small drawings, quite quick drawings, but careful sort of studies of the composition as it is. And then we would do things like folding the paper, ripping it up, moving things around, just looking at other options. And this, I think, is really valuable. So as a reminder, I thought I would show you some of these lovely drawings from Picasso, what he's doing when he's doing these drawings, and how we can apply this to our work when we're trying to nut out those compositional problems. In the middle of the painting, those middle stages, or even towards the end, if there still is a problem that needs solving. In these gorgeous drawings by Picasso, he is breaking down the composition just to simple planes, simple shapes, and he's looking at the main components of his composition. Now in doing this, he's having to decide exactly what those main components are, and that's a really good thing to do. When we take a photo, the camera will record everything, but when we do a drawing, we're being selective. In being selective, we are identifying which parts of the composition are really important, which make up the structure of the composition. So that's a really good reason why we should do these drawings. In these gorgeous linear drawings, where he's doing these sort of blind, they look like quite quick blind contour sort of drawings where he's just using a very simple line, he's really getting a lot of information into that line. And this sort of drawing is really, I think, really valuable. When I started my Upbeat Artist group, we did an exercise in the group where I got everybody to, or invited everybody to do a blind contour drawing one a day of anything. We started off with portraits, I think, and then we moved into still life. And at the end of the week, we had a really lovely collection in the group, and it was great fun. But one of the women in the group decided that she would take this further. She would continue. And she did this for, I think, another 3 months or even longer. I can't quite remember how long, but it was a decent length of time. At the end of that time, she posted her recent blind contour drawings, and they were amazing. I was blown away with how good she had got, and it was a real lesson to me that, if you persevere with something, if it becomes a practice and you do it every day, even if it only takes you half an hour or 20 minutes, in spite of yourself, you're going to get good. So that's a really, these drawings of Picasso's remind me of that, and I love this style of drawing. The other thing that you can do is, and we can see it in these drawings, is we can incorporate collage into the drawings, and this is a really good way of, if you were to draw sort of the main composition of your painting, and then you were to take some paper and place some shapes into that drawing, and then bring some drawing over to integrate it into the work, it's a really good way of finding new shapes, and then you go back to the painting and see those shapes and make more of them perhaps. But this is a really good exercise as well. And all of these different types of drawings are only going to strengthen your eye for identifying a strong composition and finding a strong composition when you need to. And also, it's a really good thing to do when you've finished a painting, because you can take the ideas that you have resolved in that painting and you can stretch them even further, and it could start a whole new series for future work. So I really encourage you to just try doing this type of drawing. Instead of reaching for your camera when you want to nut out a compositional problem, sit down, slow down, take your time, and do a small drawing, just identifying the main shapes and directions and things, main tonal values and things in your painting. And I'm sure it will help you to get clear about what composition you're dealing with and where the problems might be. And then once you know where the problems are, it's, the next step is working a way of solving them. So I hope that helps.